Hey guys, what's up? Jeannie May here. Last week we talked a little bit about not taking things for granted, right? Not hopping from one thing to the next, not seeking that constant gratification or that like new exciting thing. Last week we got over 4 foot of snow here in Klamath Falls, and so it was kind of hectic for everybody, right? Like all the kids were out of school, most of the town shut down. But it was fun. It was exciting. And I hope that you took advantage of the opportunity instead of just being like, oh my gosh, this is so much snow to shovel, right? I hope you took advantage of the opportunity and actually got to spend time, with your family, just being present in the moment. And if you don't have a family, I hope that you at least went sledding or went snowboarding or something for yourself, because if not, you definitely missed out on the opportunity. All right. But this week, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about, is Jesus enough for you? And I know that's a really heavy topic, all right? But all signs have been pointing me towards this, and I wasn't entirely sure how I was going to tackle this, but I feel like it needs to be tackled, okay? I want to start with Romans 12:2, and it says, "Let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think." All right? My son's devotional this morning was about raising your hands to God and giving it to God, and how Moses, every time he raised his hands, something wonderful happened. Obviously, it's metaphorical, right? We don't expect to just walk around with our hands up the entire time and wonderful things are going to happen. No, but we do need to surrender our life to God. We need to surrender our hearts to God. We need to surrender our minds to God. We need to surrender ourselves to God in order for Him to not only glorify our lives, but also to restore our hearts, restore our mind, and make us new in Him, right? A lot of us try to be the hero of our own story. They try to be the solution of our own problems, and that's not how it works. Jesus is the hero of the story. Jesus is the solution to all of your problems, and I can guarantee you, if you stay disciplined in your belief with God, if you stay disciplined connecting with other believers, I can guarantee you that Jesus will restore your heart, restore your mind, restore your life, and bring you anything you want. So, my question is Jesus enough for you? And I want you to actually think about this. I want you to think about every time you've been faced with a problem. Who was the hero of the story? Did you try to fix the problem yourself, or did you raise your hands like Moses did and give it to God? All we as people think about is, how can I fix this? How are we going to do this? Right? Like, we need to be able to see the solution. At least I know I do. And if I'm in the middle of something and something's not going right and I don't see the solution, I panic. All right? I am one of those people. I need to know the beginning, middle, and end. I need to know how it works. So let me just tell you, it takes practice and it takes discipline. All right? If you're going to live a life of Jesus, and if you're going to lead others to a life of Jesus, and you're going to talk about God transforming your life, then be all in. Preaching myself here, because you cannot be the hero of your own story and be a Christian and follower of Christ, all right? You need to be able to trust that God's got this. You need to be able to take a step back and say, you know what, God, I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but I trust you. Lead the way, man, all right? Because if you have faith in every situation, it can literally move mountains for you, all right? Whether it's work, relationships, day-to-day life, health problems, whatever it may be, give it to God. And I guarantee you He will move mountains if you truly and wholeheartedly surrender it to God, all right? Most of us, when we look in the mirror or when we're reflecting on ourselves, all we see is our weaknesses. But God doesn't see that. God sees you for what you are. God sees all your blessings. God sees all your strengths. God sees you as His creation and as His child. Let that sink in. That is so incredibly powerful, right? When I look in the mirror, I see all my freckles. I see all my scars. I see, how one side of my face is a little bit droopier than the other side because of my brain tumor. I see all of these issues I have. I see extra weight where I don't want it. I see, stretch marks. I see all of my flaws. I see that I'm sometimes too controlling. I see that I'm insecure in a lot of ways. I see that I'm second guessing myself or that I'm doubting myself. But when God looks at us, He sees a perfect creation. because we are beautifully and wonderfully made in God's image. And it doesn't matter what you think of yourself. It matters what God thinks of you. And God thinks the world of you. God created you. Only one of you. There's even twins are different. Okay, no one has the exact same everything. No one talks the same, thinks the same, walks the same. Every single one of us is unique and different in our own way. And so I want to push you to lean into Jesus, all right? I want to push you to trust Jesus, and I want to push you to see yourself the way God sees you. I know that is so much easier said than done, okay? Trust me, I've been a model for over 15 years. I've been told I'm too short, too tall, too skinny, too fat, too pretty, not pretty enough. You name it, I've been told it. I guarantee it. So in my own head, I am extremely insecure, and I question myself, and I doubt myself, and I'm constantly wondering if I'm a good enough person, and I'm constantly wondering if I'm a good enough mom, and if people's intentions are pure, or if they're out to get me, or I'm constantly seeing all of these insecurities that are running through my mind on a day-to-day basis. Every single time I look in the mirror, I have a laundry list of things that I'm looking at and paying attention to, and I'm slowly trying to improve, all right? But when God looks at us, he sees a laundry list of incredible features, of wonderful things, of passion, of integrity, of purpose. And I know that word purpose, it stings for a lot of us because, heck, most of us don't know what our purpose is. Most of us have absolutely no idea what we want to do in this world. And that's okay, because it doesn't matter if you know what you're doing or not. It doesn't matter if you know what your end goal is or not, because guess what? Our Creator knows, and our Creator is going to lead you down that path if you allow him to, all right? Also, something else I wanted to say that got brought to my attention recently is you cannot, this is not how this works, you cannot justify the way you're living your life with certain verses in the Bible, okay? And what I mean by that is you cannot be doing sinful things that you know are wrong and then justify it with a verse in the Bible that you see and say, oh, well, I mean, I guess I'm really not doing that bad. It's not like I murdered someone, right? I'm just out drinking with my friends on the weekend. Like, stop doing that, all right? And I'm not perfect. I sin. All the time I sin. Do I do it on purpose? No, absolutely not. Do I do it out of weakness? Yeah, most of the time I do, okay? But if you're intentionally going out every weekend and partying, knowing damn well what you're doing is wrong, and then going to church on Sunday and asking for forgiveness, knowing you're going to turn around and do it all over again, just stop. Just stop, all right? That's not how it works. That's not how giving your life to God works. That's not how being transformed works. You can't just every week ask for a transformation about the exact same thing, knowing you're going to go and redo it, okay? So please, 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 if you want Jesus to completely satisfy your life, you need to first give yourself to him. Let him transform you. Let him, make you into a new image of who he wanted you to be. Let him restore your heart. Let him restore your mind. Let him restore your soul. And please stop making excuses for what you're doing, okay? I've had so many people come to me and say, well, it's not like I'm out there killing people. It doesn't matter. It does not matter, okay? If you're sinning, you're sinning. And if you're doing it intentionally, that is a whole different battle that you need to work out with God, all right? That's all I'm going to say. But I want to push you this week, okay? Last week I talked about being more grateful for the things you have right in front of you and looking at everything that you're faced with and finding ways to appreciate it again instead of getting tired with it. This week, I really want to push you to challenge yourself mentally to ask yourself if Jesus is enough for you. If you were trying to be the hero of your own story or if you're allowing Jesus to be the hero of your story. Because I can promise you, you cannot save yourself. All right? You cannot be the solution to all of your problems when all you see when you look in the mirror is weakness. All right? Lean into Jesus. Lean into Jesus. He will give you that eternal life you're looking for. He will restore your heart, your soul, your mind, your body, everything that you're looking to restore. He can restore it for you. But you have to lean into Jesus wholeheartedly. You have to give him all your affection, all your love, all your trust, and just show him that he's welcome, okay? Show him that he is enough for you. And if you do that, I can guarantee you he will restore everything that you've ever needed restored times 10, all right? He is a gracious God. And the best part about being Christian, the best part about this faith is that you're not in it alone, okay? There's so many other believers, and I encourage you to find a small group, to start going to church, to go to Bible study, whatever it may be. Connect with those believers, all right? Connect with those believers. Stay disciplined in your belief. And again, Romans 12:2 says, let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Whether that's changing your biblical habits, whether that's changing your day-to-day habits, whether that's changing those deceitful thoughts that you have running through your heart and in your mind, okay? Find a way to keep falling in love with Jesus. Find a way to keep getting excited about your relationship with Jesus. Because I can promise you, if you're leaning in, if you're like, okay, God, I surrender, my hands are up, it's all on you. It's all on you. He will 100 times 10 answer all your calls. He will restore it, and he will make you new. So that's all I got for you this week. All right, stop looking at your weaknesses. Give it to Jesus. Allow him to work through you, show you your strengths, and restore your heart and make you new. So that's it. That's all I have for you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week moving forward. Thank you so much for being here and for the continued support. And I just want to remind you that you are enough just the way you are, all right? You are enough. You are beautiful enough. You're brave enough. You are kind enough. You are courageous enough to allow God to lead you. So that's it. I hope you have a wonderful week. Make it your mission to make someone's day better. And I will catch you guys next week. Bye.